historically, if we think about it, there is no payments product, short-term credit product, which is available for the MSME segment, and catering to their needs, because they're also evolving as the digital landscape of our country is evolving.
Yeah. What I think credit cards works very well with our core offering that we have today, right? Because today when we give a loan to a customer, the customer keeps on paying EMIs.
Right.
The engagement that way is very limited that we have, right? Unlike a bank where a liability customer will constantly do transactions and you have better engagement. I think cards that way complements very well with our existing product.
Absolutely.
So we'll have better insight into what the customer is spending, where are they spending, what are they spends. Right? It will actually can help improve our underwriting for the core business as well. So I think that way it complements.
तो अगर उन्हें एक क्रेडिट कार्ड मिल जाए जिससे वो अपना कैश स्पेंडिंग क्रेडिट कार्ड से कर ले तो उनको वहीं पे ऑलरेडी एक 45 to 60 डेज का
वो भी इंटरेस्ट फ्री राम.
हाँ
इंटरेस्ट फ्री. द राइट क्वेश्चन इज लेंडिंग कार्ड का कार्ड क्यों, राइट? Because
one of the things that we're doing as part of the platform business is how can we better serve that customer, right? If you're not able to give them an unsecured business loan for whatever reason, can we give them a personal loan, even on their personal
to a self-employed individual?
To a self-employed individual. Or can we give them a loan against a property? Or even if that doesn't work out, can we give them a gold loan?
Right.
Try and see whether we can meet that financial need of that customer so that he's come to us for financing. Can we address that segment? So that's one of the key problems that we are trying to solve as part of the platform business.
Hello and namaskar. My name is Ram Deshpande. I am the host of a new podcast series called The Lendingkart Show. In this series, we will be speaking with our leaders from Lendingkart, the people who are driving innovation and disrupting the finance industry like no other, and doing it as one team. I also recommend you to listen to our earlier podcast series, which was hosted by our colleague Kinney, where she had interviewed all our leaders. Those podcasts are available on our YouTube and Spotify channels. We take that discussion forward and get into further details of Lendingkart and the fintech industry overall. Now let's go and start the Lendingkart show. Running in the 10th year of Lendingkart's existence, we've been solving some huge problems and doing it in a profitable manner. लेकिन one question is always there. नया क्या ला रहे हो? Or how do you bring out solutions that help us simplify MSME finance further? It is imperative that we keep our journey and our dream of simplifying MSME finance going forward. Now, for discussing all of this, I have with me today our CBO for credit cards, Kamna from Delhi, South Delhi. And from Mumbai, we have our CBO for platforms, Sandeep. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you for having us here. Delighted to be on the show. I've heard a lot about Rendezvous with Ram. Isn't that what you call it? No?
It's the Lendingkart show.
I heard Rendezvous with Ram.
That would sound good, but no. Sorry, I'm not Simi Garewal.
But definitely you're like Karan. You should have some coffee.
Coffee, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, we have coffee, so we should definitely have hampers.
There are no hampers. Don't worry about it. Nothing to be won at the end of it. Okay. But let's have a good conversation.
Yeah.
There's lots to talk about, lots of new products, lots of new responsibilities that you guys have taken up. And Kamna, it's maybe the first question to you. It's been less than 3 months now? Just about 3 months that you've joined us, right?
Little shy of 3 months, but let me just ask you one question before you go ahead. Why the first question for me? Why not the Mumbaiker sitting right here with us?
It's always Delhi first, right? Delhi is the capital of the country.
Well, honestly, we're going for age before beauty. So that's
in that case, I need to take the first question. Sandeep. Sorry.
Sorry for the jokes. But, seriously, Kamna, I think it's very interesting for you to join us and a whole new product line, literally, Yeah. And but I'm very curious to know what was the motivation and how did you sort of decide on joining Lendingkart and specifically for this particular product?
I think there are many reasons for joining Lendingkart. Lendingkart has had a phenomenal journey so far. Like you also said in your introduction, 10 years of being here, solving various different problems for MSME segment via creativity and different products and services that we have to offer. Now, when you look deep, I think culturally so the energy and the innovation, it flows across the organization. A great place that it is where you come, learn, contribute, grow, and change the world. So, yeah, what could be a better reason to join?
And an excellent opportunity for you to sort of launch a entire business from ground zero, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Agreed.
But why do you think this segment, the MSME segment, which is hitherto sort of underserved in some sense, for business loans, we always consider it that way. Why do you think credit cards would be relevant for them? And why not a corporate card or something? What would be the big reason why this credit card offering for the MSME sector specifically is going to work for us?
Look, Ram, I feel that MSME is a very important sector of our country today, right? It is not just contributing 30% towards GDP, but is also providing livelihood to 115 million odd people.
Yeah.
And then you can multiply it into 4 and 5 times the households.
Yeah.
So that is the kind of number that we're looking at. And, you know, the latest policy reforms and regulatory norms which are coming about, it just goes to show the kind of effort even government is making to improve the lives of the sector. Now, while you talk about loans, you know, I think Lendingkart, a lot of other fintech companies have done really well in terms of solving the long-term credit requirement. So access to credit is easier now. But historically, if we think about it, there is no payments product, you know, short-term credit product, which is available for the MSME segment, you know, and catering to their needs, because they're also evolving as, you know, the digital landscape of our country is evolving, right? So the needs are varied, the needs are evolving, and it's not just a long-term cash flow need that they have now. Our customers have a growth mindset. So how do we kind of partner with them in every way possible? While we've paved the way for, you know, credit access, but there are still the long tail of customers that we want to service, which are new to credit, which do have those short-term requirements of credit, requirements to kind of consolidate their spends, whether it's personal, whether it's business, become smarter in the way they're spending, you know, and get benefits, get rewards. They don't have any product that is curated specifically for them, for their likes and dislikes, right? So that's why I feel it's very important for them to have access to this product relationship as a credit card.
And probably just to add to what she said, I think credit cards works very well with our core offering that we have today, right? Because today when we give a loan to a customer, the customer keeps on paying EMIs. The engagement that way is very limited that we have, right? Unlike a bank where a liability customer will constantly do transactions and you have better engagement. I think cards that way complements very well with our existing product. So we'll have better insight into what the customer is spending, where are they spending, what are their spends. And it will actually can help improve our underwriting for the core business as well. So I think that way it complements.
And to add to it, if we were to not think of business itself, if we were to think of serve our community, right? And there is so much that we've been trying to do to understand them better. Today, when you talk about loans, which Lendingkart, including a lot of other fintechs, are doing, it's a transactional relationship. It's not a product level relationship, right? There is no constant dialogue. There is no...
or very minimal at that.
Very minimal, and you wouldn't know after the loan is provided, you wouldn't know where our customers are spending the money, what are their daily needs, and how can we help them better in this journey. So, you know, like we say, our vision is to truly partner with our customers. For that, understanding their spend pattern, understanding, you know, what are those cycles, you know, what are those seasonalities in their businesses, what do they like to do in their personal times, where do they travel with family. All of that will help us, not from data perspective, but that data is going to help us make more customization of our offerings across platforms. And you know, have a deeper, more meaningful relationship with our customers.
And also, where to point that Kamna made, right? Where they're spending. So that also helps us get into their ecosystem as well, right? So we've given a loan to a particular business guy. Now he's going and buying raw material from somewhere else. He's going and spending at other B2B players. So that helps us grow our ecosystem as well.
Embedded financing would be possible. I
Yes,
guess. Yeah.
absolutely. And that's the vision that we have.
Sure.
More when we talk about the product later.
And एक चीज़ मैंने काफ़ी लोगों से सुनी भी है, especially MSMEs, छोटे दुकानदार होते हैं या छोटे जिनके concerns होते हैं, कई सारे लोगों का प्रॉब्लम ये होता है कि उन लोग जो सामान खरीदते हैं वो कैश पे खरीदते हैं और
Correct.
जो उनकी सेल होती है वो शायद क्रेडिट पे होती है, उनके जो लोग होते हैं वो उनसे क्रेडिट पे लेते हैं, तो वहाँ पे उनका कैश फ्लो का बैलेंस बिगड़ जाता है.
Absolutely.
तो अगर उन्हें एक क्रेडिट कार्ड मिल जाए जिससे वो अपना कैश स्पेंडिंग क्रेडिट कार्ड से कर ले, तो उनको वहीं पे ऑलरेडी एक 45 to 60 डेज का,
वो भी इंटरेस्ट फ्री राम,
हाँ,
इंटरेस्ट फ्री
है ना.
एब्सोल्युटली. तो हम यही बोल रहे हैं कि आपने जैसे बोला कोई और कॉर्पोरेट कार्ड मिलेगा, कोई भी क्रेडिट कार्ड मिलेगा. द राइट क्वेश्चन इज लेंडिंग कार्ड का कार्ड क्यों, राइट?
हाँ,
बिकॉज इट्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग राम. हम लोग सोच रहे थे कि क्रेडिट कार्ड करना है,
राइट,
एंड दिस इज द सेंटिमेंट दैट आवर कस्टमर्स आल्सो echoed.
राइट,
हमने बहुत सारे सर्विस करे बिकॉज साइलो में हमने सोचा we've done a fantastic job, now let's just diversify the portfolio, let's bring in more and more to our suite of offerings for the customer. ठीक है, बट कस्टमर्स क्या चाहते हैं? सो जब हमने ये सारे सर्विस करे, वी रियलाइज्ड कि हमें लगता है कि मार्केट में बहुत ऑफरिंग है, बट वो ऑफरिंग उनके लिए नहीं है. वो ले सकते हैं, बट इट्स नॉट customized, it's not tailor made for what our customers need. The best part, I would say, I was surprised, pleasantly surprised, and it was humbling to witness 85% satisfaction score from our customers.
wow,
Yeah, 85%.
nice,
That's just the validation of the good work that Lendingkart is doing.
right,
Sometimes we may think sitting in our office, we're working so hard towards the community, we're trying to do something better for them, better their lives. What more do we need to do? But, when you go out and get the validation, it's very encouraging. So I was pleased by seeing that. Plus, to add to it, I think it throws the responsibility back
Yeah,
at us.
correct.
That we're not just making a product as a tick in the box कि हमें भी credit card चाहिए, right? वो तो बहुत easy होता.
correct.
With our networks, our relationships, our great understanding
एक
of
checkbox करने
MSME
के लिए, हाँ
segment,
जी, एक product
तो
हो
हमारे लिए
जाएगा.
बहुत easy हो
हाँ,
जाता बनाना.
correct.
बट अभी ये है कि जब हमने सर्वे किया, हमारे सारे कस्टमर्स मांग रहे हैं,
Right.
which means कि definitely gap है अभी
कुछ
मार्केट
तो
में,
है,
right?
correct.
Second thing is that we are also looking at how much customization can we, how deep can we go, कितना और इसको customize कर सकते हैं to manage the varied expectations,
Right.
because that's the trust that they have
Yeah,
in us.
correct.
It reminds me of an international chips company coming into India at one point with only 3 flavors of chips that they launched.
Right.
It did not work.
Yeah.
I know that you know the name of the
Yeah,
company,
yeah.
right? And then they realize that the diversity in our country is such, communities change, tastes change, flavors,
correct,
and your preferences. Every 300 kilometers in the country
Everything
is changing.
changes, correct.
So how can you have one size fit all, right? It has to be tailor made, it has to be customized, and that's what we believe we are going to do. It's not going to be a standard product. It might get launched like that, and then we will go deeper.
Nice.
And provide more customizations.
Very nice. Very interesting to hear, and I think everyone should look forward to this particular credit card coming pretty soon.
Absolutely.
We'll announce the launch date. A lot of work for marketing, I'm sure.
That'll be your journey.
Yes. So absolutely look forward to that. I think we are also
Yes.
very excited to do something like that. But Sandeep, now coming to you on, while we are in this whole process of launching a credit card, and Kamna talked about it already, is the unsecured business loan or core business has always been there right from the inception, which has worked for our MSME customers. We now have more than 2.25 lakh MSMEs who have benefited from this product. What else can we do in the lending space, so to speak? Or what are we planning to do, or what are you already working on, so to speak?
Sure. Yeah. So I think the point that you made, right, that we've been always company that gave unsecured business loans, right? It's been a single product, and that obviously has done really well for us over the last.
Which is
10
easy for
years.
marketing, by the way. एक funnel है, वही बेचना है, वही traffic लानी है एक particular page पे. Easy.
We
But अभी आप
increase the
complicate कर रहे हो.
complexity. Yeah.
Yeah, but what we realized was that while we are giving a product to a customer segment which was not getting catered by the larger institutions, but at the same time they also have diverse needs.
Yeah.
Right, and a single product company limits our audience in that sense, and we realize that a lot of customers either may not have, let's say, a business proof, right, which prevents us from giving them a business loan,
Right.
or the business vintage may not be adequate enough for us to underwrite. But as an individual, they may actually have a great CBIL score, have a great financial health of that individual. Also, at times we realize that maybe unsecured loan may not be appropriate for that customer, but can we give a secured loan, right? कि घर है, property है, can we give a loan against that, right? And a lot of customers actually have that asset available. So what one of the things that we're doing as part of the platform business is how can we better serve that customer, right? If you're not able to give them an unsecured business loan for whatever reason, can we give them a personal loan, even on their personal
To a
health
self-employed individual.
to a self-employed individual, or can we give them a loan against a property, or even if that doesn't work out, can we give them a gold loan,
Right.
Try and see whether we can meet that financial need of that customer, so that he's come to us for financing. Can we address that segment? So that's one of the key problems that we are trying to solve as part of the platform business.
Yeah, because customer is coming to us with a very clear need. They need money.
Yeah.
You know, and we sort of mask it under different products or unsecured business loan. There's ultimately तो पैसा चाहिए ना.
Exactly.
है ना. तो अगर वो हम किसी भी तरीके से मुहैया करा दे तो why not?
And that's where the platform business comes in, fits right quite well, because we have multiple lenders with us, right? All our co-lending partners.
Correct.
They all of them have multiple products with them. So can we marry the customer who's come to us, if not a unsecured business loan, can we get a personal loan or a LAP or a gold loan, etc., with all our lending partners together? That's really the role that platform plays.
Can you dive a little deeper into that and explain this whole platform part? Because I mean, one, what is the view from a customer side, and what is the view from the lender side? Because we are in the middle, and we are basically constructing a good deal for our customer. They have a finance need, and we are constructing a solution or a deal for them effectively.
Correct.
Just if you could get into the details of those platforms that we speak of.
Sure. Yeah, so basically we have built 4 platforms, right? And I've covered that in my earlier season 1 as well.
Of course. Season 1, Sandeep had spoken with Kenny, our colleague, and listen to it on YouTube or Spotify.
But I can just give a quick summary.
Sure, yes.
So if you look at a customer life cycle today,
Yeah.
right? And we can broadly divide into 4 buckets, four stages, I would say. The first stage is the sourcing part. Where you get origination, where you get the customer into your funnel, collect all information about the customer, get their PAN details, do a bureau pull, get some other information about them, get the bank statements, etc. Get the customer ready so that you have all the information available. File bana lo, right? In the digital way, essentially. So that's really the first platform that you're offering, which is a distribution platform, what we are calling as Accelerate.
Correct.
Right? So that same infrastructure today, while we are doing all of this for an unsecured business loan, we can very well leverage the same infrastructure available, the same reach that we have, pan-India reach, right? Across our online partners, across our DSAs, across our own direct marketing channel as well. We are leveraging that same platform today of distribution reach and serving or partnering with multiple lenders here for whom we can build that distribution reach.
Sure.
So that's the first platform, Accelerate. And then that's where I talked about the LAP product or the gold loan product or the personal loan product. The second platform is, once all the information is collected, then really underwriting that customer, right? Whether to give a loan or not.
Check their credit worthiness, how much amount, what's the interest rate, whatever.
Yeah. And it's not always a simple rule based thing, right? Because the rule based was what used to happen in the past, where you would make sure that, okay, credit score itna hi minimum chahiye mujhe itna average balance chahiye. But there are multiple factors that go into it, and that's where our underwriting model, which is...
And that runs in a matter of seconds.
Exactly.
Right.
Because traditionally lenders used to have an officer, a credit officer, who will evaluate each and every customer and then take a decision.
जो हमने इसमें सुंदर सर और उमेश के पॉडकास्ट बोला था कि वो चित्रगुप्त वाला रोल होता है, वही खाता खोल के देखा कि लोन देना है नहीं देना है, हेल में जाओगे या हेल में जाओगे.
So you can do that for large ticket size loan, right? 1 crore, 2 crore, 10 crore, जो corporate loans होते हैं 500 crore, so where you can have individual and you can afford to have an individual do it.
Or you need to do that for that matter.
Yeah, but if you talk of ticket sizes like what we operate in, 5 lakhs, lakhs, 10 lakhs, उसके अंदर you can't have a person taking a decision, right? Because that person will be able to do only, let's say,
Won't be scalable.
10 or 15 cases in a
Yeah.
day, but you can't live with that. So the underwriting model really then helps take decisions in seconds, right? Whether to give a loan, and at the same time also tells how much loan to offer.
Correct.
इसको 2 लाख देना है कि 10 लाख देना है, right? And then what is the probability of default?
Sure.
So the second platform that we have is credit, which we are now serving, giving as an offering to other lenders who want to enter into unsecured lending space, right? Digitally, where they can automate a lot of things and take decisions on the fly.
So the benefit for the customer is that the decisioning happens in a matter of seconds, and for the lender is like, oh, there is an impartial, unbiased technology available to them at their fingertips, right?
And at a much cheaper cost, right? I mean, this can do decisions. They can probably process thousands and thousands of cases in a day, right? Which earlier they would probably take 10 or 15 days to do that kind of volume.
Correct.
And I think what's comforting here is for any lender, it's not just a product that we are selling. For them, there is a proven record of past 8-9 years of work that has been put into it and which is working for us. So if we're using it for our own consumption,
We are eating
then
our own
it'll-
dog food basically.
Absolutely.
As a
So
tech industry, right?
it'll yield the same results for you as well. So I think
And the
that's-
model is self-learning as well, right? Because based on how the performance is, it will keep on refining.
Yep, absolutely. And then we have Together and Collect, which we have talked about in many other podcasts. So when you go about selling these platforms, what are the typical questions you get from the lender community?
So I think depending on what platform we are offering or talking to the lenders, right? I think some platforms are an easy kill, right? I think for distribution platform, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
When we go and talk to any lender and say, okay, can I get you high quality leads with all the information that you would typically require for underwriting, and all that information on a platter for you? Why would anyone refuse it?
Yeah.
Right. So that way, I think some of the Accelerate, I think, is an easy kill. Collect 10 also, I think, as we've gone into the market, spoken to various lenders, I think especially the smaller fintechs who can't afford to have a separate collections unit of their own, right? Because collections is not simply telecalling, that you have some people in a call center and calling up customers. Right? What Collect-in also does, which probably would have covered in the earlier podcast, also does a lot of analytics on which customers are likely to default, which customers are likely to pay, किसको reminder भेज के pay कर देगा, किसी को घर पे somebody physically has to go to the shop. So all of that decisioning is done by the Collect-in platform.
Interestingly, Ram, he has a internal customer sitting right here.
Really?
So you should know that, credit card is going to be
Collections
leveraging
will
all
be
of
done by
it.
our
Of
platform.
course.
Collections, even underwriting. There's a lot of our lenders, which are the bin sponsors, etc. All of that
Correct.
will be on together. So every technology that we've built is going to
There you
be
go. If there was,
stitched together.
we don't need to make any ads. We don't need to make any ads for these platforms. No marketing required. We're telling you here, we are using it ourselves, doing it very well.
Absolutely.
Come and check it out. Now, from a customer standpoint, these platforms are invisible though. That's how it should be, because there is no the customer is not interested in knowing कि भाई क्या technology use कर रहे हो, Java में coding कर रहे हो कि C++.
End of the day, if you are able to get the loan to the customer, I think that serves the
And doing
purpose.
it
It's
of
the
it.
as
experience,
quickly
I
and
think.
as this thing manner, right?
Yeah.
Precisely. Now, so if we look forward now, and in terms of the technology that is coming our way, I mean, we talk about AI, ML, all of that stuff. Do you have those kind of discussions with institutions, financial institutions at that? Because financial institutions have always been at the forefront of adopting newer technology. Look at the India stack, for example. All the APIs that the government has come with. UPI is the shining example of everything that we call progress, for that matter. Do you see these discussions happening, and how do you personally also see how this impacting the financial technology that we are building?
Yeah, I think the market of course is maturing, and with newer and newer technologies coming in. But I think more importantly is that while certain technology terms do help, but I think at the same time I also want to be careful that we don't overuse this term, because in the market you say AI and ML, etc. End of the day, if you don't have a use case that proves that okay, how it will help me solve the problem, it won't work out, right? So that's why for the market, I would say when you go and talk to lenders, they're more interested in okay, how will it help me solve my problem, right? मुझे underwriting करनी है. So there was one lender that we are talking to couple of months back, and he was saying that okay, I want to do digital lending because I've been a traditional lender, right? I have a credit officer, an army of credit officers sitting here, right? वो हर एक फाइल खोलते हैं, उसमें बैंक स्टेटमेंट देखते हैं, उसके अंदर वो क्रेडिट का सिबिल ब्यूरो रिपोर्ट देखते हैं, एंड देन डिसीजन लेते हैं. he still wants to retain the decision making. He says that I don't want to outsource decision making, which is right, obviously, because as a lender you would ultimately want to. But he said, can you automate data read for me?
Okay.
Can you pull all the details from a CBIL report? Can you pull all the details from the bank statement? Compute all the variables for me. कि इसका average daily balance कितना है, last 30 day का balance कितना है, 90 day का balance कितना है. Can you automate all of that information for me? Give that information to me on a platter, and then I will apply some rules on that to take a decision.
Correct.
That will reduce my burden of my credit officer today.
Perfect. So this
तो उसको पता कि फायदा नहीं है कि मैं AI यूज कर रहा हूँ कि ML यूज कर रहा हूँ, but as long as I'm solving a problem for him,
is the output.
I think that's what.
And that's essentially, this is technology that is working with the credit officers, the humans, so to speak. Not so to speak, they are humans. So it's not replacing anyone.
Correct.
It's making the people work faster, their
Make them more
efficiency goes up,
efficient.
they do more higher value stuff for that matter, and that's the real advantage.
And helps him scale. At the same officer now can take decisions on 200, 300 cases in a day.
Correct.
While he was probably doing only 10, 15 cases.
And I'm also curious, both of you have been in the industry for quite some time now, and Sandeep, you've been consultant to financial institutions in the past, right? How have things changed? And maybe start with you, Sandeep, this time with Mumbai.
Thank God.
How have things changed, in terms of, I mean, in a general sense or specifically for lending, but what have you seen as the major changes over the years? When you started and where things are now?
Yeah, so I've been, as you mentioned, right? So I've been a consultant all through my life. And over the last 10, 12 years, I was specifically focused on financial services. And I've seen how fintechs had probably 10, 12 years back, fintechs was just a new buzzword at that point of time, right? And I think the wave really started with payments companies and where payments had started happening in a jiffy, and then UPI came about, and that drove a lot of transition. Obviously, lending over the last 5-6 years, I think, has really picked up on the digital thanks to COVID. I think a lot of newer technologies are coming in. Account aggregator came about a few years back. Adoption is picking up. I think Lendingkart has been the pioneer in that instance, in the sense that we've started using it actively as a use case for us. Okin is another framework that is coming about. So there are a lot of new enablers or infrastructure enablers that are coming about, which will help making or lending much more easier now. And I think that's where one of the main drivers for me, you didn't ask me that question, but one of the main drivers for me for joining Lendingkart was...
It's been a year now.
Why didn't you ask him the
It's
question?
been more than a year. We just celebrated this a year anniversary.
Yeah.
You didn't ask him last year as well?
We didn't have this podcast then.
We had it only this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think I answered that question in the first season.
To Kinney, you already answered, It's there on YouTube and Spotify.
So you've answered that question.
Yeah, but what if
He's
people have
gonna
not
ask
heard?
me every year, why did you join?
Maybe, why are you still here?
Yeah, he'll change that to, why are you still here? What are you doing here, Kamna?
So Kamna, I mean, the same point to you, and I mean, especially if you look at, and you touched upon it a little bit when we were talking about credit cards earlier. If you see our real competition when it comes to lending or any financial product is the unorganized sector.
Correct.
I think any measure 75-80% of the MSME sector right now does not have formal credit access.
Right.
Is that something that you see changing, or how is it changing? What is the pace of change, and how would credit cards probably bring in some amount of, or catalyze the change further?
See, it's not just, like I said, I think definitely changing new to credit is becoming a norm. We are solving for it, finding creative ways, surrogate information, etc. Data and AI is playing a big role here. How do we do, AI which is mimicking customer behavior and has the ability to get variable from broader sources, right? To be able to underwrite and identify the customer. Because I don't think the issue is just, underwriting. The issue is the challenge of underwriting coming from the fact that we are unable to identify the customer. They don't have a credit history. So we have to start somewhere. So we have to start in a creative manner. And that is something that I definitely see happening more now as opposed to how it was. Your then digitization across a range of products is another change that I see. Because it is not just payments, it's beyond payments. Payments, yes, we all know, has a rapid penetration when it comes to digital payments, from some sub 10-11% to 80% today. It will continue to evolve. But look at the other financial products. The way you invest
Yep.
today, how you file your tax,
Yeah.
right? Just
Everything.
how the KYC is happening. I
Correct.
think about the days when there were people coming to my place and collecting documents and then verifying the original documents, taking the photocopy, self-attested, and see what we are doing today. So
Yeah.
there is digitization is across a range of products, and that is going to increase a lot. That I feel. And simplification, like what he's working on, platforms, simplification for the users and simplification for financial intermediaries. That's what we are creating. We're saying that, and this is going to become a norm. Today we are talking about it as if this is an initiative that we are taking, this is creative, innovative, but I feel more and more we are headed there. Look at how India stack is evolving, right? Credit on UPI, KYCs, your talked about your
Account
account
aggregator
aggregator
And that's a
framework.
big use case.
So all of it is headed towards the same thing. So we are doing in our own ability. We are saying we'll get the lenders together, get access to the customers. So yes, another 4 years, I think we'll be sitting again and saying, "Oh, we spoke about it, and there is so much that has changed. It's overwhelming. With unable to keep up with the pace with so many changes, but it's exciting. Exciting times
Big time.
ahead."
And the thing is, average age of an entrepreneur is also reducing, I guess. I mean,
Yes.
much younger people are getting into business directly or running their parents' businesses, so to speak. उन लोगों को शायद अटेस्टेशन क्या होता है वो शायद पता भी नहीं होगा है ना गजेटेड ऑफिसर का ठप्पा और साइन लेके आना ट्रिप्लिकेट में कुछ फॉर्म फाइल करना ये तो आई थिंक
And that stamp used to have, right? I mean, I remember as a kid, we used to have those photocopy में true copy का एक stamp होता था और उस पे like gazette office sign
Not just that, we used to go in our neighborhood to explore who could attest.
Who could attest it,
So I
exactly.
know this because my dad was a gazetted officer.
Yeah, see?
There used to be people lining up and coming for this and that. Then somebody said that अरे इसके तो पैसे लेने चाहिए. When I was अरे नहीं ये सब काम नहीं होना चाहिए आपको देखो और stamp मार के ले जाओ.
No, but it's impressive. See how your the entire application process for the passport and getting the passport today. I mean, I couldn't believe myself.
DigiYatra, have you tried DigiYatra?
I haven't, but
I
I've
tried it.
heard.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and if you have it on DigiLocker, if you're already on DigiLocker, which your Aadhaar is already there, 2 minutes you get registered on DigiYatra, you upload your boarding pass, and at the airport, you're through. And if you're not carrying any check-in luggage, it's like 5 minutes you're at the gate.
Yeah, but sometimes I wonder what happens if everybody is on DigiYatra.
No,
Then we have the same problem, right? Everybody going through the queue. So not that simple, Ram.
No, it's just nobody's there. You just stand in front, it scans you, and you're
Today,
through.
because the adoption isn't there.
Correct.
I'm saying all of
I
us
think it's
getting
a move in
DigiYatra.
the right direction. It's the point of somebody scanning boarding. The same thing, no? Like you said, file देख के कोई paper देख रहा है, वो सब हट गया.
वो सब हट गया.
So वो I think चीजें ऐसी हैं जो बदल रही हैं और the change is so rapid. For that matter, right?
It's very rapid. 6 months ago, I'm not talking years back. Whenever I used to call for a cab, the first condition the cab driver would say is, ma'am, are you going to pay in cash? हम कार्ड और ये गूगल पे पेटीएम नहीं चाहिए हमें. तो मैं तभी पिक करने आऊँगा अगर आप मुझे कैश दोगे.
Hard cash, notes.
Today, when I try to pay in cash, they say, ma'am, please Paytm, please Google Pay.
Correct.
So at least that adoption to that extent, it's marvelous.
And it's become such a big part of our normal life now. You don't realize it. You only realize it when your NRI friends come visiting.
Yeah.
And these poor fellows go around carrying cash everywhere. यार कोई cash नहीं ले रहा है.
Absolutely.
But I think they've solved it for NRIs also. The UPI for NRIs
Yes.
also coming. I guess.
It's also coming.
Anyway, I think this is very interesting to talk about. The reason I'm speaking about all this is because that's the environment in which we are operating. And our MSME is there, already utilizing all these things. So our products, our services, our solutions have to keep in mind what the customer is already used to.
Absolutely.
And build accordingly. So that it's not something that they have completely new thing to adopt, but it's an organic process by which they just go from one place to another. It's like, हाँ यार, obviously ऐसे करके यहाँ click करो ये हो गया, है ना?
Definitely.
Any other trends that you see specifically in fintech for the MSMEs that we should. I mean, I know you're already trying to launch completely new product. I'm already asking her what other new products you launch. But after how many people did you survey, by the way? How many customers were you able to speak with?
It was we reached out to approximately 50,000 top customers of
Wow.
ours. Uh, and out of that, we received responses from eight, close to 8,000 customers.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
a
that
pretty
was a
big
great.
sample set.
Yes, and the survey was exhaustive. It wasn't like a short survey.
Yeah.
It was objective, but it had a lot of other things where the customers were required to fill in what they feel, what they want, likes and dislikes. And yeah, so when we went through the results, like I said, customers were happy with the
Yeah.
offers and
7,000 7,000
services.
बंदा अगर सही कह रहा है तो हम लोग कुछ तो सही कर ही
कुछ तो
रहे
सही कर रहे हैं ना हम और फिर अभी और भी सही करना है
Yeah,
and
of course.
everybody was looking forward to a credit card offering.
Yeah.
They had different expectations from it. That's why I said that once we launch, we'll have to figure out a way to go deeper because we need to manage varied expectations while we have one product and keep going through the evolution of customizing it further and further for their requirements because we're truly launching a card for MSMEs. We are not launching a card for customers like you and I who are pocketing like 10 cards, 15 cards and choosing this is my shopping card and this is this card. We want to make it like one card and do not go away from Lendingkart.
Right.
We will give you everything here.
Yeah.
One-stop shop, one-stop solution for you. You need a loan, you have it. You need short-term financing, you have it. You need a credit card at a click of a button, at a swipe, whatever you may need, you have it. A seamless experience, get rewarded for managing your expenses better. And not just rewards limited to standardized rewards. Even we're going to do something exciting with the rewards as well.
Wow. I
Yes.
sense one more podcast just about credit cards where we talk a lot more in detail about exactly what customers can benefit with. Sandeep, I think you touched upon all the new products that we are bringing out and whether it's personal loan. So ये ऐसा है कि MSME जो अभी रिजेक्ट हो रहा था और कई बार हमें मैसेज आते हैं कि भाई मेरा लोन एप्लीकेशन क्यों रिजेक्ट कर दिया तो ऑब्वियसली अगर वो फ़ोन करते हैं या ईमेल करते हैं तो उनको जवाब देते हैं कि ऐसा ऐसा क्या क्या है कुछ चीज़ों में फिक्स किया जा सकता है कुछ चीज़ों में नहीं किया जा सकता सपोज किसी का विंटेज कम है तो क्या आप उन कस्टमर्स को मैसेज देना चाहेंगे भाई उनके लिए भी हमारे पास अभी प्रोडक्ट है कि अगर आपका बिजनेस विंटेज कम है तो आप पर्सनल लोन अप्लाई कीजिए तो हाउ वुड दैट गो अबाउट कैसे
Exactly. So that's what. So today, and that's what we are working on to optimize that journey or give that seamless experience to the customer. That when a customer is coming to us today asking for a loan, right? While we evaluate them for a business loan, but in case through the evaluation, if we realize that maybe business loan may not work out, right? For whatever reason, it could be because of the person has maxed out on his finances and can't take any more unsecured loan, or as we said earlier, right? Maybe they don't have adequate registration proofs, right? Because not all MSMEs may operate and have all the documentation in place. So for those customers, that's where we are offering that without telling the customer that sorry we're rejecting you. We are offering that okay maybe this is a better.
तो अभी उन्होंने आना है लेंडिंग कार्ड के साइट पे ये ऐप डाउनलोड कीजिए स्टैंडर्ड प्रोसेस ही फॉलो कीजिए हम फिगर आउट कर लेंगे आपके लिए
Exactly, we'll act as their financial advisor and tell them which is the right product appropriate for you, which first improves your chances of getting a loan because we want to improve that percentage. Right? Today, only let's say X percentage of customers are actually getting a loan from us. We want to increase that 2x or 3x or 4x by offering these multiple products. That आप आए हो आपको financing चाहिए, we will help get the right financing for you.
Perfect. Oh, that's really good, and I think that, and you use the word community, which is a very strong word in my opinion, and we got to build that further because MSMEs can help each other out also. And one of the things that Dilip, our chief collections officer, had mentioned to me that when somebody is not able to repay a loan, for example, and they have a lot of stock of X product, suppose, and we have another MSME who's probably in the business where X product is useful to them, they are buying those products. You just connect them, चल तेरा business कर और loan repay कर दे. Simple as that. So as a community, and we have a role to play there, right? And when you look at MSME community, do you think that products of this kind, whether it's credit cards or personal loans, or any new product for that matter, a new way of financing a business, does that spread faster with like word of mouth in terms of like one person, like we see clusters, for example, like in Gurgaon, where I lived for quite some time, there are Vyapar Kendra, for example, is there. Or वहाँ पे सैकड़ों दुकानें हैं,
Correct.
फिर उनमें से कुछ लीडर होंगे जो इन्फ्लुएंस शायद करते होंगे, ऐसा होता है? क्या होता है, मतलब किस तरीके से हमें ये आगे बढ़ानी है बात?
Is it for Mumbai or Delhi?
Maybe Delhi this time.
Delhi पहले.
No, so
NCR, चलो.
NCR, yeah, let's call it NCR now. So Ram, yeah, absolutely. I think India is a country of communities, right? The large communities are stitched together with region, language, cultural values, etc. And the smaller communities are stitched together with proximity, relationships, value system. So I believe, in the smaller community, which is stitched together with the proximity, word of mouth works both ways. If you're able to create a product which really adds value to one person's life, the chances of higher adoption and a faster adoption across the community are there. And it works the opposite way.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you let them down and if you lose trust of one person, you've lost
The
entire community or a large portion of the community. Yes, absolutely.
मुंबई में भी ऐसा ही है?
मुंबई में भी है?
Yeah, that's
मुंबई
true
में
for
नहीं है।
that's
मुंबई में नहीं है?
नहीं
Mumbai में everything is digital.
डिजिटल है.
No, but I think what the point that Kamna made is very, very relevant, right? Especially in the MSME community, and in Bombay or any other place that you look at, and there are those cluster or
Like
ecosystem
Bengaluru
of
as a commercial street is there, Peenya industrial estate is there. All of like that is in Bengaluru for that.
Yeah.
Hyderabad would have something similar. Like, yeah.
And that's where I think digital can also play a role, because while in a way it helps to have that community and everyone else knows other buyers and sellers, but I think digital can help expand that further, right? It can help discover new avenues for business itself. And that's where I think as a business model for us also can evolve going forward,
Right.
to say that while we are offering financing and transactions, etc., we can also help you discover other businesses or other opportunities, etc. I think
काम बढ़ा दिया आपने मेरा, मतलब अभी तक हम लोग अच्छे से बिजनेस लोन्स बोले तो सिर्फ लेंडिंग कार्ड कह रहे थे, सब सही चल रहा था.
अभी और बोलना पड़ेगा.
बिजनेस लोन, पर्सनल लोन, गोल्ड लोन, क्रेडिट कार्ड, ये सब बोले तो भी सिर्फ लेंडिंग कार्ड. No, I think it's
I think we should change the tag to just say loan bole to lending card.
financing बोले तो. Yeah. No, I think in the podcast with Harsh, he came up with this thing, right? That basic needs have changed.
True.
So home, shelter, clothing, food, and financing. और वो तो अगली मूवी बनेगी तो रोटी कपड़ा मकान और लोन.
I think one thing that has been constant in our lives is MSME customers,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Everything is revolving around that.
Yeah.
We are evolving as they are evolving. Their needs are evolving. We come and
We are
contribute.
responding to that.
Yes,
We'll
yes.
actively listen.
And I think that's the right way to do business. If we started and our ethos was that we're going to do digital lending and we're going to solve for the financing problem. If we've solved for it, now, it's like any other community in our country,
Yeah,
right? Your needs are also evolving. They also want more from you.
Yep.
So you got to keep reinventing
And
the wheel and
they're
keep
absolutely right.
adding more.
They are right to demand more from us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Good.
it's a journey.
Fantastic. चलो काम करते हैं और कुछ नया बनाते हैं और ब्रांडिंग करेंगे, एडवर्टाइजिंग करेंगे, आप पैसे लेते आइए,
धंधा लेके
मार्केटिंग में उड़ाएंगे. नहीं, good यार. I think this is a very important conversation to be had, and especially for our customers who are listening, जिनको देख रहे हैं, जो सुन रहे हैं, उनके लिए important information है कि बहुत सारे अलग फाइनेंसिंग प्रोडक्ट्स हैं जो आप इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं, because unorganized lending is not the future. ये क्लियर है.
बिल्कुल.
ये हमारे लिए, बाकी फिनटेक्स के लिए, बाकी फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस के लिए, फॉर दैट मैटर, सबके लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी है, और हमारा इकोसिस्टम बड़ा राइप है जस्ट टू कोलैबोरेट, एंड ऑल आवर प्लेटफॉर्म्स आर डूइंग दैट. सो दैट्स great that we spoke about all this, but I'm not going to let you go just like that.
You are going to pull out the hamper now.
No.
Who wins first? Tell me that.
अरे पहले we need to play a quiz.
तो hamper तो बनता है यार.
We'll see.
Oh, you can take the plant.
I can't check it in the bank.
No, okay, so I have 701 Vantage points to be given out. Vantage points are our system through which you can redeem for some gifts.
Okay,
for
perfect.
yourself.
You've bribed us.
And as leaders, you'll probably spread those points into your teams. I'm hoping.
She can claim that she's just in the team is not that big.
ठीक है. So now this will be a quiz, general knowledge, but about Lendingkart. Let's see. आप दोनों काफी नए से हो, 1 साल 3 महीना whatever. So
And fastest finger first?
no, what are you gonna put your fingers on?
The mic.
Just any but. So,
I'm not even acknowledging Sandeep right now.
अच्छा, चलो.
Raise the hand also.
ठीक है. See, the thing is, these questions, very simple. If you're working in Lendingkart, you should know. If you watched our podcast, you should know for sure.
Okay.
Now, but if you get these wrong, it'll be like serious egg on your face. Okay, like CBO and all, but don't even know this much. All are please, so serious.
Okay.
Game face on. Please.
All right.
Okay, same question for both. Both answers we'll take and see if one is wrong. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
चलो करें. ठीक है. Which year was Lendingkart born?
2014.
14.
Slow. Okay. How many? What is the amount of loan disbursal that we have?
14,000 crore.
14,000 crore plus.
You got that
Achha,
one.
okay.
1-1. Okay. How many offices does
6.
Lendingkart have?
6.5.
6. What is 6.5?
एक ऑफिस बन रहा है ना.
6.5 क्या होता है?
Explain 6.5.
आधा कहाँ पे ऑफिस? ओनरशिप आदि है हमारा.
6.5 ऑफिस कैसे होता है?
अरे so अहमदाबाद,
He must be talking about the
दिल्ली,
time.
बॉम्बे, हैदराबाद. अहमदाबाद में 2 ऑफिसेज हैं
हाँ.
और पुणे में बन रहा है जो आधा.
These are operational places. These are not sales offices. Branches नहीं है हमारी. जहाँ हमारे लोग बैठे हैं वहाँ पे. आधा क्यों बोलेंगे उसको?
बन रहा है, मैंने सुना वो.
इसलिए आधा. अहमदाबाद को दोगे ना आपने. So last question of the quiz. How many cities have we serviced thus far?
4,000.
Oh, fantastic. And you need the jinx. But anyway. Good. Thank you so much. I think this
So
was
who's the
great.
winner?
I'll decide that and email it to you later. Or we'll let the viewers decide. Who was the winner between Sandeep and Kamna?
No, it's just not just Sandeep and Kamna. It's Delhi versus
Write
Bombay.
it in the comment section. Who do you think was the winner
It's
of
always
this quiz
Delhi.
contest?
Actually, I love Bombay too. Yeah.
Okay. So, who's the winner then?
Bombay.
Oh, we can win together.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
join hands and great.
Yeah, we have to do business together.
Bengaluru has no problem. Whoever
Remember,
can
I'm
win.
your customer.
All right, great. No, but Sandeep and Kamna, thank you so much. This was lovely. It was such a great pleasure for me to speak with both of you. I mean, great new products, and the way you've described it and the stuff, the benefit that our customers could possibly get from all of these is phenomenal. And all the best to both of you on this journey. I think some of the great things that we'll achieve together, we'll really look forward to that. Thank you so much for your
Thanks,
time
Ram.
today.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
having
It's
you.
been a pleasure being on the show.
Thank you for watching the Lendingkart show. All our episodes are available on our YouTube and Spotify channels. I'm Ram Deshpande, signing off. Take care. Bye-bye.